Hey, what's up everyone? A few days ago I posted a video about these media blasting covers for an Atlas slide that I designed and 3D printed. I was kind of surprised by the response. A number of you were pretty stoked on them and wanted them. I used them a few days ago to media blast my slide, and oh man, they worked great. It was so nice, such a huge time saver, and they held up pretty well too. So I think these will be quite reusable. Now, I don't make any money off this channel, nor do I care to. I'm not going to sell these, but I really do want to provide stuff like this for the viewers of my channel. I used to put all my designs on GrabCAD to share, but they started taking them down, so I stopped and deleted my account. If you want the files, leave a comment letting me know, and I'll respond and tell you how to get in touch with me. I'll send you a zip folder with all the files and a text document with printing information. I will provide step files. I don't like STLs. They don't carry the same dimensional data. They are a triangular surface mesh that is much less accurate than a solid body. I want people to be able to throw my design in their modeling software and modify it if they want or need to. It's really hard to do that with STL files. You shouldn't have any trouble dropping the step files into your slicer either. I improved this design to make it a bit more versatile. And I also designed, printed, and tested some frame rail covers. These are awesome too. In this video, I'll go over the new design and its features. Let's get into it. So to recap, the spring tunnel plug goes in, the slide plate goes in, it covers the rails, it blocks off the chamber area, and this back here clips into the firing pin port. The barrel passage plug goes in, and then it's retained to the lower plug by an 1/8 inch pin of some sort. You'll need one of these. Use a drill bit or a Dremel shank like I did, whatever. In the files, I'll provide a little model for this knob, and it just helps with installation and removal. Melt it onto whatever pin you have. These two plugs are long enough to clear the front of a government slide. If you need them longer, say for like a 6-inch slide or something, throw them into your modeling software and extend them. I modified the design of the spring plug tunnel. It now has a flange back here, so it will work with slides that don't have the reverse plug cut. I added this bump on the back of it, and that holds the front of this cover plate down. I noticed that it wanted to spring up. I extended the piece upwards that clips into the firing pin port, and this should clear the top of a standard profile 1911 slide. It just makes it easier to remove, kind of push it off with your thumb. And, you know, presumably if you're media blasting your slide, you won't have like a rear sight or an optic plate on it that would interfere with this feature. I also added this so it plugs off the thumb safety notch on the left side of the slide. If my calculations are correct, a commander slide spring tunnel is 300 thousandths closer to the breech face than on a government slide. This plate prints with a score mark right here. If you have a commander slide, you snap this off and it's 300 thou shorter. This piece that fills the chamber right here is designed around an Atlas slide. Due to the differences in how manufacturers cut the ejection port and where this breech face is located side to side in the slide, you will likely have to do some filing and fitting on this. I also designed and printed a frame rail cover. It is long enough for the front frame rail section of a government slide. You can just trim it off with side cutters for shorter rail sections, but it slips on, it stayed put, it works really well for covering the frame rail surfaces while you media blast everything else. I think that about covers it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Again, leave a comment requesting the 3D model files and I'll respond to you. If you do use this, let me know how it works out for you. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you next time.